Hello Aquarius, welcome back to my channel, Romani Fire. You can find me on Instagram at Romani_fire. I do daily readings there. How are you doing in the Gemini season? Let me know in the comments below. I have already shuffled. It's been a long day. I've already shuffled both decks. We're going to do a general reading and then we're going to do a little love reading as well. Again, repeat, I have shuffled these decks repeatedly for a long time. The shuffling is a very long process today for whatever reason. So let's get started with your general reading and see what's happening for you. Your overall energy is the Gemini energy. So this tells me that you have a lot of choices to make. And if you look in the background, you have clouds here, but these clouds are very dark and they're very confusing. I feel like, yeah, we have the sun shining, but what's the point of the sun shining if you can't technically see what's happening in front of you? You've got two people here. You've got the woman that has a very fruitful tree and has, you know, manifested some great stuff, and then you have the guy here who is literally in autumn mode, where you know, his season of fruition has ended and now he is left with a bare tree that carries just a few leaves. So she's looking up in hope and he's looking at her for answers. And I feel like there's this little triangle here and it's kind of like, what should I be doing? I don't really know what's going on here. Let me consult my guides. Let me figure out what's going on here, because it seems like your mind is really clouding your judgment at the moment. When it comes to your work and your finances or education, you've got the Page of Wands, and this is talking about, I'm really drawn to, I always get this with the Page of Wands actually, I'm really drawn to the staff that he has here, like the actual wand, and he's very confident in what he's doing and he's created this masterpiece and he's admiring it. But if you look at his hat, it's like a grey colour and it's like, to me, that would represent your thought process. Again, you've got like a double clarification here that, you know, you're very confident in what you're doing. You know, you're literally covered in yellow, and yellow is connected to the solar plexus, and the solar plexus is all about confidence and self-discipline and self-assurance and all that good stuff, you know. And you're very in that energy when it comes to work and finance and just the earth kind of material energy anyway. Like, you're very abundant in that area. But he's admiring his stuff, but he's not looking at it as he's finished, it's a finished piece of work. He's looking at it like, what can I do now? I feel like there's something else that I need to be doing. Oh, that sounds okay. So yeah, although you're very confident of what you're able to do and what you're doing, you're looking at your stuff and you're looking at your tool, your work, your career, and you're trying to find other ways to enhance or to create new ways of working. Oh dear. And then for the mind, the thought process, the communication, you could be feeling like, what's the fucking point? I'm not gonna lie, this is a very heavy, dense energy. You can see the guy on the floor here and he's literally got all the swords in his back. But if you look at him closely, he's wearing a red, is this a red gown? I don't know what to call this thing. It's like a red thing here. And this tells me that although your thought process may be very struck down or confined, you still have a lot of ideas, like a lot of creative ideas. But for whatever reason, whatever this energy is that's holding you down is stopping you from expressing what these ideas or situations or whatever it is, it's stopping you from expressing that, from communicating it. And the good thing about the Ten of Swords is it's the end of a cycle, which means that this is not going to last for much longer. But this is just to remind you that you're coming to the end of a cycle and you still have all of this energy down here that's full of like passion and creativity, but whatever's going on here is just not working anymore, and you need to find a new way of, I would say new way of thinking, that's the easiest option to say, but you need to understand why you have 10 swords in your back before you can start the creative process again, because your thoughts will always step in, your thoughts will always jump in when you're in the process of flowing. They'll always jump in and slap you in the face with a bit of negativity or reality check or whatever it is. So figure out what the 10 of swords are. I mean, there could be 10 situations here that are literally holding you down. When you figure out what they are, you're going to unlock many doors. Actually, I feel like there's not going to be one door, but there's going to be many doors that you're going to unlock once you've figured out what the hell is going on here when it comes to your thought process. Your communication, I feel like your communication is good, but I feel like you can't be bothered to communicate, not because you don't want to communicate, but you feel like you're just going to be misunderstood because you're just tired. I feel like you're just tired of trying to explain stuff, or yeah, I definitely feel like you're tired of trying to explain yourself to people, and that's fine. Maybe you need a break. Maybe you need a mental break. Is it bad to give that to yourself, Aquarius? I don't think so. I think, you know, just give yourself a break. I laugh because I heard one of my friends say, "Don't tell me what to do." I love you. But, you know, you still have a lot of creativity and a lot of ideas. But before you can express them and communicate them to everybody else, you first need to understand what is actually holding you down and holding you back. When it comes to your plan of action and your passions and stuff like that, interesting, you're kind of caught up in this battle, and there's many people around you that I mean, if you look at the card properly, like with a close eye, you'll realise that no one's actually hitting each other. It's just all talk and no action. Everyone's just out here doing the ego dance, and nobody's actually doing anything about anything. And I feel like if you was just to step out of that, and why did my voice go funny? If you was to step out of that and focus more on the choices that you have to make at the moment, rather than getting caught up in the drama of whatever these people are fighting. They're not even fighting. It's just all, it's like, who's got the biggest ego at the moment? Who's got the biggest this? Who's got whatever, you know? And I think if you take yourself out of that equation and you start focusing more so on the choices that you have to make and what's going on and why you're feeling this energy when it comes to your thought process, I feel like you'll very quickly get yourself out of this, like, this battle that's not even really a battle. It's just it's just a shit show. It's just like, what the hell is going on here? Like, you want to fight, but nobody's actually fighting. If you look at it closely in the card, no one is actually fighting. People are just literally holding up their wands and making a lot of noise. I'm just saying. When it comes to your emotions, you have the chariot. I was going to say the charity. You have the Chariot, and this is the card of Cancerians, and there's a lot of emotion. I feel like there's a lot of emotion going on for you guys at the moment, and I feel like the emotion isn't because of anyone outside of yourself, but I feel like you're having this realization that the people around you are not the people that they once were, and I feel like you've kind of, the curtains here are open, so I feel like you've kind of opened your eyes to this truth, and I feel like you're accepting that truth, but it doesn't mean that it's not going to hurt. The process of saying goodbye to someone or some people, it's still going to hurt, but you understand that if you want to move forward in life and you want to start feeling fulfilled in relationships again, or fulfilled just in yourself, because these are your emotions, right? This is your thought process, these are your emotions. You have to allow yourself to feel those emotions. Maybe you need to express your emotions to unlock whatever this is going on up here. Sorry, my throat is just like... So I definitely feel like the fact that my throat is acting up right now, I really feel like this is a very crazy communication... a very crazy situation when it comes to communication. I literally feel like if we take these 3 cards here, I feel like this is the energy when it comes to your emotions. You feel like when you express yourself, you end up in this situation. When you don't express yourself, you end up in this situation. I feel like you can't win at the moment if you're stuck between these 2 things here. But again, let's bring it back to your energy, the lovers. You've got a lot of love to give, Aquarius. Even though you've got a rap for being, you know, not so free-willing when it comes to sharing the love, you are loving people. But you give your love to the right people. You don't give your love away easily. You just don't hand it out and just be like, okay, yeah, I love you, love you, love you. Like, the people that you generally love are people that that you actually have value for, and so on and so forth. Blah, 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 blah. Sorry, I feel like I'm rambling. So, I've also noticed that in the Chariot card, the curtains are open at the front, but the background, you still can't see nothing. So it's almost like the only way you can look is forward. You can't look back. There's no point in looking back. Just keep looking forward. Keep moving forward. And you know, you've got a choice here. You can get moving if you want to, because you're in control. You are in control. But for whatever reason, you want to stay in this energy. Maybe you just want to feel this energy, figure out what it's about. I mean, hello, we've got all of this situation going on here, so there's a lot of stuff for you guys to figure out. But let's just not take away from the fact that at the end of the day, whatever the situation is, you always have a choice. And I think the fact that we've got the grey clouds here, we've got the grey hat here, we've got literally in your thought process, you have like the 10 of Wands, which is 10 of Swords, sorry, and the swords are connected to air. Air is communication, truth, and thought process. And then there's also a lot of grey in here as well. So I feel like a lot of this, all of this stuff is connected. What am I talking about? All of this stuff is connected. So what are you going to do, Aquarius? Are you going to allow this shit show to continue? Or are you going to start making these choices that need to be made? Like, you already know that at least 2 people around you need to go. What are you holding on for? What is it that you're trying to hold on for? Like, I get it, you love them, but if it's not serving you and your highest good anymore, what is the actual point in holding on to these people? Would it not be better to set them free and to set yourself free, even more importantly, to allow like a more free-flowing energy? I think sometimes, you know, the focus is us, so we always bring everything back to us, but for whatever reason you're not making certain choices, and they're choices that need to be made. And it's Gemini season, right? So this is a perfect time for you guys to start making choices. You already know the situation. You already know that there's people that's got to go. You already know that there's a lot of stuff going. No matter what you do at the moment, you feel like you're just stuck in this kind of energy of battle. You know, you're communicating and you piss people off. Your emotional status pisses people off. But when did it come about other people? Like, the focus should be you. And your energy is the lovers. And the lovers, if you look at it, technically, there's the lovers, and then you can also see it as there's like, I don't know what the correct word is, there's like the balance of the 2 people, finding that balance and just letting this stuff go. It's time to let it go. These people, this situation. And I keep being drawn to this red thing here, this whatever it is, a cloak or gown. You've got a lot of great ideas. And like here, if you connect this with this, like your work and your finance and stuff like that, if you can figure out what this is, like the energy of the 10 of Swords, if you can figure out what this is, you will unlock whatever it is that you feel like you want to explore when it comes to your work life and education, or whatever it is that's going on with work and stuff like that. Sorry, my throat keeps going. If you figure out this, you will unlock whatever it is that you're looking for to move forward in this kind of area of your life when it comes to exploring new things in the field of work or education that you're in. Anyway, Aquarius, I feel like I'm just rambling now, so I'm going to wrap up the general reading. I hope that resonated with you guys. Let's get on to your love reading. Oops, that's upside down. Neat freak, can't live like that, sorry. Oh, Jesus. So again, I've already shuffled these cards, so I'm just going to pull them out. Oh my God, you have the Chariot, that's crazy. So I feel like for you guys, when it comes to your love life, you were being pulled in two different directions. It's almost like you've got one person over here, and then you have another person over here. You've got someone over here that appeals to your dark side, and you've got someone over here that appeals to your light side. And you really have no idea which way you want to go, but you're going. Because the Chariot in this card is moving. The Chariot in that card isn't. So whatever it is you're doing here, you're moving. I mean, I don't know where you think you're moving to, but you are definitely moving. And I feel like at the moment, the person that is winning is the person that appeals more so to the lighter side of things rather than the darker side of things. And by darker side, I mean more like the fantasy and the movie kind of love. And then the light side, I'm referring to you know, good character, good morals, good support system, everything that we, you know, we really want deep down, but we can get sidetracked by the way somebody else moves when they look good, smell good, and appeal to the eye, you know. Five of Swords and the Two of Pentacles. So you could be dealing with a water sign maybe, or I feel really connected to this energy here. So there could be some kind of love battle, and I feel like you could be playing a few people, or you could have a few people in mind. I mean, again, we've got the two people here. Here we have two people, and here we have the Two of Pentacles and stuff. And I feel like in the process of you not really knowing who you want or what you're doing, you've actually, you've actually lost, some people are lost along the way. So I would say for you guys, really focus on what your needs are. What is it that you actually want in a relationship? Because there's no point in looking at dating or having a relationship if you have no fucking idea what it is you actually want. Because all I get from this situation here is confusion. Do you want a relationship? Do you not want a relationship? If you are in a relationship, what is all of this? Are you exploring options here? Like, are you, like, what's going on here? Like, he's standing there in his truth, but at what expense? He's hurt two people here in the background. So are you, if you're in a relationship, are you technically cheating maybe? Are you exploring more options? Are you bored of your partner or something? Like, what's actually happening here? If you're single, I would say really focus on what it is you want in a relationship, because you could be dating a lot of people at the moment, and it's so much and so confusing that you don't actually know what you want anymore. You don't actually know what you want anymore. That's crazy. Even here, like emotionally, you look at the water here and you look at the water here, they're both really unsteady. It's like unsteady waters. Like emotionally, you have no idea emotionally what fulfills you. And then when you look at the clouds here and you look at the way that this guy is just struggling, it's like mentally, emotionally, I feel like you just have no idea at the moment. You're being pulled in all these different directions and you just don't know really which way you want to go. And the only kind of energy that came up here is the Chariot card, and that's the Cancerian. So maybe you're dealing with a Cancerian, but maybe the Cancerian is driving you a bit nuts. Maybe they're driving you nuts to a point where you are looking elsewhere. But it seems like you don't want to leave the Cancerian or the person that holds this kind of energy. But what you do want to do is you want to have your cake and eat it. And in the process of having your cake and eating it, you're leading people on, and these people are getting their hopes up. And in the end, what happens is you end up hurting people. And you're out here like going, yay, look at me with all my pentacles, and I'm just like out here doing my thing. But you're not realising that in the process you're actually not only hurting people, you're going to hurt yourself, because nobody's going to want this kind of energy at the end of the day if you're going to keep playing. At some point you're going to have to figure out what it is that you actually want, what emotionally fulfills you. If you're single, that's fine. Date, do whatever you want to do. Maybe, you know, maybe this is your past card and this is your future card, and maybe, you know, your past, you just, maybe it's all just been crazy. I just feel like the root of the issue isn't really people. I feel like the root of the issue is you, and I feel like you're confused and you don't really know what you want. And that's fine. You don't have to know what you want. But if you are in a relationship, because this is a love reading, if you are in a relationship with someone, the kindest thing you can do for yourself and that person is to really sit down and communicate and talk about what it is that you actually want. And if that person can fulfill your needs, if they can't, then it might just be a matter of having to let them go. Because do you really want to stay in this kind of energy where you're just being pulled all over the place and you have no freaking idea what you want to do? Emotionally unstable, mentally unstable, you know? At some point you have to face the truth and get some kind of direction, because being pulled in all different directions, that's not going to get you far. So guys, when it comes to your love life, I mean, ouch, just, you know, is all I'm going to say. Anyway, Aquarius, I hope today's reading resonated with you. If it did, let me know in the comments below. And I shall see you in the July readings. See you later. Bye.